there. So today for our reading comprehension lesson, we are going to continue working on main idea and supporting details. For the next 2 days, we are going to be reading a book. And in this book, we are going to look at what the main idea is for each chapter and what are the supporting details. We will also be looking at some text features. Now, we will talk more about text features in the third week of summer school, but I am going to mention them to you briefly, and it will just help you understand what we're doing a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take my picture away so that we can focus on the screen and on the book that is in front of us. So let me take myself away. Excuse me. All right, so our text is called, What Are Some Rules at Home? Okay, what are some rules at home? Look at the cover of this book. I want you to decide. What do you think? Is this book going to be a fiction or non-fiction text? Remember, what is fiction? Fiction is fake. Non-fiction is not fake. Fiction is something that is pretend. Non-fiction is informational. Think about the clues that tell us what a fiction book might look like on the front, on the cover, and think about what a non-fiction book might look like. What do you think it is? Well, if you said non-fiction, you are correct. This book was written to teach us about rules at home. The author, Margaret McNamara, she wanted to teach us about rules at home. So this is an informational text. Let's go ahead and look at the table of contents. This is one text feature that I want to show you today. So what's really cool about nonfiction text is that you don't always have to read the entire book. Sometimes if you are just looking for one particular thing that you need to know about, you can go straight to that chapter and just read that. Now, for today's purpose and for working on main idea, we are going to read the entire book. But let's say you are getting ready to learn about penguins at school. And you're really interested in penguins and you want to know a little bit more before you even start at school. So you ask your parent to take you to the library and you go to the nonfiction section for kids and you see a book on animals. Now there's going to be a lot of animals in that book. There might be tigers and there might be pandas and there might be fish. Now those are very interesting animals, but you want to learn about penguins. So you're going to go to the chapter with penguins. And you may pick up that book to read it again someday, but you really want to learn about penguins. Now you're going to be able to learn about penguins even if you don't read that entire book. So that's the cool thing about nonfiction text. It's informational and you don't have to read the entire thing usually to understand what you are reading and what is going on, just like in the example with animals. So in our table of contents, we have the words to think about. This is going to help us understand some of the words as we are going. It's kind of almost like a glossary. Then we have our introduction. This will get us ready to read chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our conclusion, and then an official glossary in text. So it'll take those pictures and give us definitions and index. That'll tell us where to find particular things in the text. All right, so if I wanted to learn about teaching safety, about rules that teach safety, I would go to chapter 1, page 6. If I wanted to learn about responsibility, I go to chapter 2. If I wanted to learn about rules that teach respect, I'd go to chapter 3. And if I wanted to learn about rules that teach healthful habits, I would go to chapter 4. Now, do you notice how the page numbers are you have these little dots, this dotted line, and then the page numbers are right there. So it'll tell you not just chapter 1, but it'll tell you what page you can find chapter 1 on. So what page could I find chapter 3 on? Go to chapter 3. Go across. What page could I find chapter 3 on? Well, if you said page 10, you are correct. I could find chapter 3 on page 10. So that's one text feature I wanted to show you. Here are some words to think about. These words are going to help us understand what we are reading. The first word is citizens, and it says, these citizens are members of a community. The next word is healthy. You are healthy when you eat well, sleep, and exercise. Respectful. Helping others shows that you are respectful. Responsibility. You learn responsibility when you do your jobs. So this looks like it is a chore chart. So it looks like these are the kids that are at home. And it looks like these are the jobs that they have to do and what they have to do and when they have to do it. So kind of interesting. When I was young, I had a chore chart. I had things I had to get done after I did my homework and I got home from school so that I could help out at home and learn responsibility. And then when I was all done, I got to play. So then we have rules. These people follow a rule about wearing helmets. And our last word that we're going to talk about right now is safe. Stopping at the stop sign keeps drivers safe. So those words are going to help us understand the text we're reading. I'm going to read you the introduction quickly. After I read you the introduction, today we are going to look at chapters 1 and chapter 2. Chapters 1 and 2. So after we do that and we read both of them, we'll go back and we will decide what the main idea is for chapter 1. And then we will find some supporting details and we will do the exact same thing for chapter 2. So let's begin. Introduction. Rules tell people what they should and shouldn't do. All good citizens or members of a community follow rules. How do we learn rules? We start learning them at home. In this book, we'll find out about rules at home. All right, chapter 1, rules that teach safety. Parents want their children to be safe. They know that children should not use sharp knives. They know that opening a door to strangers can be dangerous. How can parents protect their children? They can make rules. The rules help children know how to act safely. Rules about wearing helmets keep children safe. This mother helps her child use the knife. Rules in your home. What other rules keep you safe at home? Chapter 2. Rules that teach responsibility. Most parents make rules to teach responsibility. Responsible citizens do the jobs that they are supposed to do. Parents make rules about doing jobs at home. Parents make rules about doing homework. Children learn that they can get in trouble if they do not follow rules. Think about it. How does feeding a pet help teach responsibility? People do many chores or jobs at home. All right, so we've read chapters 1 and 2. Let's go back to chapter 1 and let's discuss main idea. Looking at chapter 1, chapter 1's title is Rules That Teach Safety. So the main idea in this is going to be stated for you. So it's going to tell you exactly what the main idea is in one sentence. So I'm going to read this again to you. We're going to figure out what the main idea is. Teach children responsibility. I want to go back to the text and I want to talk about the two details. Now, details tell us more. So, what are two details, or what are two rules that parents make about teaching responsibility? One of them is parents make rules about doing jobs at home, and parents make rules about doing homework. Those are right in the text. I wanted to show you that they are right in the text. So let's go back to here. Parents make rules about doing jobs at home. Parents also make rules about doing homework. All right. So today we talked about main idea and supporting details in a nonfiction text. Tomorrow we will look at chapters 3 and 4, and we will find the main idea and supporting details for those chapters as well.